I would like to encourage you with this reflection video to keep pushing on through with your consecutive days of silence if you've had some struggle with that. And put it in other times of the day if you need to do that. I have been doing that lately. I've been finding it difficult to add silence in the morning. I initially was putting it in the early morning hours, like when I would first wake up. And I still like to do that, but sometimes the household and the activities of the day just haven't really permitted for that. And in this little farmhouse, it's hard to find a quiet place if I'm looking for an indoor spot to do that. So in the beginning of my 100 days in this experiment with self-awareness and adding silence, I was going outside fairly often to not only do the 30 minutes of silence, but also to record this little reflection video for you. And as the weather has gotten more severe with our winter weather, it's been harder to do that. So I've been inside more. Today, I did 30 minutes of silence inside where it was warm, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. And it was during my lunch hour. And I'm finding it to be a nice break in my day. I was pretty intent at my computer working on something for one of my clients, and about 12:30 I stopped, and actually I went looking for our kitty, and he was all snuggled on the foot of the bed, and so I just sat on the bed next to him and did my silence there, and it was cozy and comfortable. That's just kind of a little side note. I find that both sometimes I seek him out to hang out with him, and he often seeks me out. He seems to know as soon as I have gotten still and am just kind of listening to the day. That's what I sometimes call it when I'm in silence, and he finds me. If I'm outside, I notice that the llamas gather around me if I'm out in one of the pastures where they can access me. That tells me that as our frequency changes, as we're sitting quietly and just letting our body rest, I think our animals sense that. I'm guessing if there were humans in the household right now that they would be sensing that as well. So I've carried that idea into when I'm leading a workshop or facilitating a session or giving a keynote talk, that you can bring the energy or lower the energy if that's what the room needs, that we have that ability. So I often will start before I would go out on stage or head to a podium or whatever the situation is. I'll start with deep breathing. And then sometimes I will say words of affirmation or phrases that if I want to bring my energy up, that will help me with that. And if I find myself feeling a little nervous about it, then maybe I'll use phrases that would help me bring my energy down just a little bit so I can have a little better control of my words. You might try some of those things if you also are speaking to groups of people, but gosh, there are lots of other ways you can use that. Something that's really neat that I want to share with you is just yesterday I got confirmation from a client I had been speaking with about a month before that a proposal I had put forward about a talk at a conference has been accepted. And it's about this subject. And I'm really excited about that. When I set out on creating this 100-day challenge for myself, I did not have any kind of intent about it being subject matter for a talk that I would share with others. And I just love how things are aligning. I thought yesterday when I saw that email and then had some correspondence back and forth, like, wow, I'm not sure I've ever felt this excited about a topic before and about the opportunity to share it with people. And now I have all of these little reflection videos that could be helpful resources to people who will be there in the room in June when I'm delivering the talk at the conference. So isn't that neat how that has all come together? I literally just mentioned this experience in passing in our conversation, and she kind of stopped me and said, "Wait a minute, tell me more about that." And so I described it a little bit, and she said, "Oh, would you write that up in a proposal in addition to the other thing we were talking about?" So I presented both topic areas, and they selected the one about the silence and this experience of spending 100 consecutive days putting silence in the day and seeing the benefits that come from it. So I really am excited about that. Thank you for being here with me as I have done this experiment. And there might be some more alignment that will come not only in the next 18 to 20 days that would get me to the end of the 100 days, but I know already, and I've mentioned it before, I'm going to keep doing this long past the 100 days, and I picture I will do this till the end of my life. I just love the time to listen. I can't believe I haven't slowed down all these years prior to do a better job of listening. And the ideas that are flowing from it for my life as a musician, the incremental improvements that have been happening for me as an accordion player, as a guitar player, and I'm learning another instrument right now. I just feel like this evolved version of myself is someone I've never met before, and I like what she's becoming. It's really an interesting ride. Hey, I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.